2008 World Champions of Baseball.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Now entering the game for Philly Pressbox Radio, Bill Furman and Jim Chet Chesko.
It's Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, and the Philadelphia Phillies are NL East champions, and the Philadelphia Eagles are one of just 3 undefeated teams after week 3. Welcome to the Philly Press Box Radio Roundtable, brought to you by the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, PA, Cavs, Philly Tailgates, and the STT Sports Network. I'm Bill Furman. I'll be your host tonight, along with my partner, Jim Chet Chesko. And Chet, hey, good to have you back, pal.
Oh, thank you.
The Eagles pulled back, pulled out a second half for the ages after as bad a first half as we've seen in ages. They're 3-0, headed to Tampa to play the 3-0 Buccaneers. The Phillies have won the NL East and set for a first-round bye. That'll be fun. Just 5 regular season games to go before Red October. And we're down to just 15 days before the Flyers drop their first puck for real. We'll be making our NFL and margin of victory pool picks too. And Chet, with all that going on, the unfortunate headline this week is the passing of Flyers legend Bernie Parent. 3 goalies in 3 weeks, Chet. Ken Dryden, Eddie DiGiacomo, well, lost that one, and Bernie. We have plenty to talk about in Philly sports.
Yeah,
Giacomo.
we do. Eddie Giacomin. Come on, Bill.
That's it.
There we go. Yeah, and Bernie Parent, man, that was sad news indeed. I've seen him many times over the years and celebrated his 80th birthday, I believe, last spring. We will talk more about that legendary Flyer a bit later in the show.
Yeah, we will. And, hey, we have a couple great guests tonight, both first-timers. Longtime Tampa sports radio personality who has covered it all in nearly 45 years in Tampa, JP Peterson, and the man of 1,000 voices, Joe Conklin, making his first visit. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we love welcoming first-timers to the show, and JP is something of a legend down in the Tampa, St. Pete area. Joe Conklin is amazing, Bill, and I didn't tell you in advance, but Joe will be bringing a bunch of guests with him during his segment, the likes of Andy Reid, Dick Vermeil, Charles Barkley, and, of course, Joel Embiid. You'll hear from all of them when we talk with Joe Conklin.
Oh, wow. That'll be fun. Hey, just a little schedule change for our viewers.
Yes.
JP was going to be with us first. He called late this afternoon with a conflict, so we might actually run past 8 o'clock tonight, and JP is going to join us closer to 8 o'clock than 7 o'clock to talk birds. So we're reshuffling the deck, and hang on a little longer. We're going to talk a little extra Philly sports tonight.
Yeah, we have plenty to talk about. I mean, the Phillies heading for the postseason, the Magic #1 to clinch that first-round bye as we speak, and some bullpen concerns about the Phillies. The Eagles, have they been, more lucky than good this year? 3 one-score victories.
No, stop
they
that.
Are 3. Hey, I'm just saying.
Stop that.
2.5 games of pretty much inept offense, Bill. You got to admit that.
Never a doubt, Chet. Never a doubt.
Okay. All right.
Hey, all you have to do is look at my post from halftime. I told you, there's 2 halves in every game. Just hang loose, get it together. They came out in the second half, played a lot better, and
well, what a difference was.
I actually said with like 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, they were going to win that game. I didn't expect them to do it the way they did. Oh, I did believe it. But I didn't expect them to do it quite the way they did it. But the defense threw a shutout in the second half, minus that short field on the first fumble.
Right.
They adjusted. The offense certainly adjusted. The special teams made plays. It's what great teams do, find ways to win.
Well, okay, here's the thing. They beat Dallas opening week, didn't look overly impressive. CeeDee Lamb had a couple of drops in the second half that could have put the Cowboys in front. I'm not saying it was luck, and I'm not saying also the Eagles' defense had anything to do with that. Those were drops. Kansas City, a ball
We'll
in
take
and out of
note
the
of
hands
that.
of Travis Kelce, picked off by Makuba. Again, a little luck involved there, Bill.
Well, let's go back to Dallas, because if you watch that drop by CD Lamb, now certainly he should catch it. He's as good a receiver as in the league. But if you watch his head come up, he's looking for Blankenship. And Blankenship was in the neighborhood. He had already laid the hammer on him one time. And so, the same with Makuba. I mean, Kelce dropped that ball too. I don't know if Makuba was going to make a play. Certainly Kelce should have caught the ball. But there's other reasons for plays. And it's not just luck. There's not a lot of luck out on a football field.
Okay. The thing is, I'm getting some vibes from 2023 when the Eagles started off 10-1, but a lot of those games were like, how the heck did they do this? And you're wondering, if at some point things were going to collapse, and they did. They lost 6 of their final 7 games. I'm not saying that's where we're headed this year. I think this roster is better than what they had 2 years ago, but I don't know.
You've been listening to too much Philadelphia radio, son. Come on, man.
Bill, they've been outgained in all 3 games, out first downed in all 3 games. All 3 games were closer than they probably should have been. Yeah, they're 3-0.
They played the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Rams. They're good teams.
Okay, you don't mention the Cowboys as a good team. Who are you kidding?
Well, they were that night. They played pretty well that night. They're not so good this past Sunday night, but I'm not. I'm all in. I'm all in. This is a great football team. I'm not. You find ways to win. Sometimes it's not pretty. We saw they can open the offense up, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more of that. Just relax and enjoy. It's going to be a fun ride. Early in the year like this, Chet, you're stacking wins. That's the important thing, because
that is true. And I'll say something about that in a second. But as I put up this little graphic, smash that like and subscribe buttons. Please do so. If you're watching on YouTube, particularly, the subscribe button applies. We've added something like 120 subscribers over the past 1 month. So that's pretty good. And even more at the end of August, after we had that Ray Didinger on, who always gets a big audience. He helped us get several dozen new subscribers. So it's been a good month plus for Philly Pressbox Radio. So please subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Now, as for what you were saying, Bill, the guys don't play in the preseason, so they're still getting into form. They're still not as sharp as they will be, come mid-season. So we got to keep that in mind. But that second half of the Rams game, it made us hungry or thirsty for, more of that kind of action all the time. So do you think they will perhaps start off with more, passing plays in the first half this coming Sunday against Tampa Bay?
Well, I think they are being a little conservative, no doubt about that. Yes. But I think it's they're running their offense based on what the defense is dictating to them, which is what they're doing now. Should they be more aggressive and make the defense, let them dictate and make the defense adjust? I believe so. Yes. So I think you'll see a change there. They're not going to come out and throw the ball 30 times. It's not Jalen Hurts' way. It's not the Eagles' way. They're going to throw 20 to 22 times, 18 to 22 times, and they're going to run the football. That's how they're built. And I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of change in there. Looks like a lot of Facebook problems tonight. A lot of people commenting here that they're having trouble.
Damn Facebook. Hopefully everything's good on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button there, because I don't know what Facebook's doing to us, Bill, but YouTube is the place to be tonight, I guess.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, smash them like and follow buttons on YouTube, and for us and for Phil Stifle Show.
Yeah,
hey,
Phil's
Chet,
doing well too.
Yep. Hey, as we mentioned in the opening about the passing of number 1, Bernard Marcel Perrant at the age of 80.
Yes.
We are on show number 567, I believe, of Philly Pressbox Radio. We've interviewed a bunch of guys, probably 1,000 now, almost. I don't think you were ever more excited than getting to interview Bernie. That was one of your highlights, I think.
Yeah, I think I pushed for that interview for nearly a full year with Bernie and his lovely wife, Jeannie, when finally then able to make it happen after working and talking with her about that. So we did the interview in April of 2020, a month into the pandemic. It was done over the phone, and the 13-minute interview was a blast. Bernie was terrific, of course, and it's still available on YouTube. So if you haven't watched it, definitely do check that out. Bill, what do you remember about Bernie and those 74 and 75 Cup runs? I mean, he was so damn good in the postseason.
Yeah, he was. And, he had 47 wins in one season, which was a record. He played, I want to say that he missed like 14 games across the whole season, something crazy like that. And they were always shorthanded, because the Broad Street Bullies were always in the penalty box. But the thing that I probably remember most, Chet, about those times is when Bobby Clark came out at the end and said, we could have never won those Cups without Bernie Perrant. He was the guy that made it all happen, coming from the guy who was winning MVP awards and leading a great team. And he gave all the credit to Bernie.
Yeah, he was just amazing. You're right. I think he played 61 out of the 78 games or whatever they used to play back in those days, and was just almost untouchable in the postseason. And, of course, the last time he put on the pads was New Year's Eve afternoon of 2011 when Flyers and Rangers alumni played an outdoor game at Citizens Bank Park. And I asked Bernie about that memorable day at CBP. How much fun was that, playing in front of 46,000 fans outdoors and hearing that Bernie, Bernie, Bernie chant one more time?
Oh my God! It was, I was so grateful I was able to participate. The best part of the whole thing was I said I was going to play just 5 minutes, and I looked at the clock. Right, it was near the end. There was 10 seconds left. Then I looked down on the ice again, and here comes Duguay on the breakaway. And I said, Lord, what are you doing to me, right? And to get shut on my pads on purpose, and then the crowd stood up and cheered, I made the save. And I told him, I said, why'd you hit my pads? Because I knew he hit my pads on purpose. He said, he said, by God, I don't think I would have left this down alive, for God's sake, if I would have scored.
I love listening to Bernie.
Oh, for sure. And, another hidden gem, Chet, is both clinching games of the Stanley Cup. Bernie threw shutouts in both of those games, a 1-0 game and a 2-0 game. The 2-0 game was a late goal, so they were essentially 1-1 game or 1-0 games, and Bernie throwing shutouts both times.
Bob Hound Kelly, the game winner in that last one, right?
Yep, absolutely. The other thing, Chet, I think
he showed me his rings a few times. Well, I love.
Oh, he showed her. Yeah, he showed everybody those rings. He got the thumbs up. You always got the thumbs up and the fists.
Yep.
But I think the thing that's really the coolest about Bernie is, as years have gone by, he became off the ice legendary.
Yeah,
he was everywhere. He was Mr. Philadelphia. If the Phillies needed somebody, Bernie was there. If the Eagles needed somebody, Bernie was there. Every golf tournament, every fishing tournament, every bike race, whatever was needed in Philadelphia, Bernie became that guy. And, I think as you look through social media and you see all the photos of people with Bernie, there's thousands, everybody got to meet him, and he was everybody's friend. And I think, that's as good as it gets right there. And the tributes from his teammates as well.
And a dapper dresser as well. Look at him there, man.
Yeah.
and Joe Watson and Bill Barber.
Yeah, we probably don't have a picture of it because I think it just came out. I just saw it like 15 minutes ago. There's a picture of Chris Therien posted of Chris and Bernie on the ice together. And it had to be from that the old timers game there.
Yeah.
And Chris said one of my favorite memories of all time and favorite pictures is got Chris with, he's kind of skating away, and it's the back of his jersey. So
I've seen that.
His name.
Yeah.
And then Bernie in the back of his jersey, one of his very favorite possessions.
Yeah. Bernie was great. And like you said, even popular over the last 20 years when he was, well out of the game. But because he was so involved with everything, he did stuff for the Darren Dalton Foundation, became good friends with Tommy Green. Tommy just talked about that a month or two ago when we had him on. So, yeah, he was a friend to everybody, always a smile on his face, gave you the thumbs up, and just a great guy. And we are certainly going to miss Bernie Perrant.
Absolutely. Rest easy, Bernie.
Yep.
We got it under control. Hey, Chet, Philly Pressbox Radio is part of the STT Sports Network, as in Set the Trends. It's a network set up by our pal Phil Stiefel, host of the terrific Trending in the AM show that you can find every weekday morning on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel. Check out Phil. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Phil's show is on there, and so is ours. Yep. You can find Philly Pressbox Radio there in addition to our own YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Again, it's the STT Sports Network setting the trends for what sports talk should be.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Chet? I listened into a little bit of Phil here over the last week or so, and he likes the controversial stuff. So if you like to bang around ideas, Phil is a great guy to do that with. Check him out.
Yeah, and what's great is he welcomes comments from viewers, as do we, but he puts them up there constantly and will pretty much respond to every single one of them. I don't know how he does it. He's a one-man show, doesn't usually have guests, and he's on there for 90 minutes pretty much every weekday morning. And he was talking this morning about the fact that it was just about 1 year ago that he started the STT Sports Network and brought us aboard. So I think his first show as the STT Sports Network guy was October 2nd, a Wednesday of last year, and we joined right about that same time. So 1 year just about with us and Phil.
There you go. Congrats to Phil. It's he grinds it out. Like you say, he does it every day and does a heck of a job at it.
Yes, he does.
Sure. All right. Hey, Chet, tell us. It's September. We're loaded up with Phillies and Eagles, and what does that mean is going on at the Irish Rover Station House? Because there's always a lot.
Well, fall is indeed fun at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. I popped in there yesterday, as a matter of fact, Bill. Terrific food and always 24 beers on tap. The Rover has trivia every Wednesday at 7, dinner specials Thursday through Sunday, killer burger Thursdays. And hey, live music is back on the weekends this Saturday, courtesy Meshed Up. And hey, another great event is coming up at the Rover very soon, about 10 days from now, as a matter of fact. One of my favorites, the Great Irish Bar, going German for the day, celebrating Oktoberfest. Yeah, it's Saturday, October 4th from noon to 6 p.m. Always a blast with German food and beers, a Stein hoisting competition, and more. Can't wait. If you have yet to visit this great bar, what are you waiting for? The Irish Rover Station House is on Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne and on the web at irishroverstationhouse.com. Get there. Check it out.
Hey, everybody. This is David Ossickinen, the drummer of the Hooters. You're watching Bill and Chet on Philly Pressbox Radio. Go Phillies. Go Birds. I'll see you at the concert.
Oh, yeah. How about that? David Ossickinen of the Hooters. Speaking of David Ossickinen, not only is Dave in the Hooters, he drums also for Smash Palace and has headed the terrific In the Pocket project that features a slew of great Philly musicians. And coming up this Saturday, it is In the Pocket's 15th anniversary show. That'll be at the Ardmore Music Hall. I got my tickets, and I know that I will see a lot of friends there. So congrats to In the Pocket.
There you go. Hey, Chet, you had a chance to visit with a man of 1,000 voices, Joe Conklin, the other day. You were so excited about it. You messaged me and said, wait until you hear this. So tell us about it before he tells us about it. You tell us about it.
Well, just like I had always wanted to interview Bernie Perrant, finally got to do that 5 years ago, I had always thought that Joe Conklin would be a great guy to have on our show. And I had met him several times over the years, but just never felt comfortable enough or confident enough to ask him to come on our show. But I talked with him a couple of times more recently at some networking events at Splits down in Mapleshade, Mount Laurel, Boop's former hangout. And that was thanks in part to Steve Cooper, a comedian friend of Joe's and mine, and had Steve Cooper on our show about a year ago. So I felt a little more comfortable asking Joe to come on the show, and he said yes. And we set it up for the other day, taped it, and it was pretty darn good. Here is that interview.
You'll always be able to spot a Philadelphia sports fan. They're the ones with the batteries in their hand. You'll even be able to spot a Philadelphia sports fan in the afterlife. They'll be the ones up at the pearly gates booing the Lord. Heaven sucks!
You know this guy from his ability to make people laugh on comedy stages across the area and his 3 decades of work at WIP. It's the man of 1,000 voices and the pride of Cardinal Doherty High School. We say hello to Joe Conklin. Hey, Joe.
What's happening, Jim, or is it Chet? Or
let's call me Chet.
You've got 2 names. What's
I know.
happening, Chet?
I'm a lucky guy. Hey, let's start with this, Joe. How early as a kid and only did you realize that you had an ability to make people laugh, and when did the impressions come in?
Wow. Well, the impressions were everything from the start. I guess I was, 6 or 7 years old as a little kid.
Wow.
Doing the voice. But I'm one of 7, and I was the 6th of 7. And we were always playing around, doing voices, trying to make each other laugh. My parents have a vocal talent. They're both singers. They sang in church. And my dad actually did impressions. He did Alfred Hitchcock. He did Bishop Graham from our church, a number of other people. So he was always carrying on. And it was kind of just like a family thing. And I thought that's how everybody grew up. But I knew I had a knack for voices. My brothers would do 2 or 3. I did about 10 of them. So I started, gathering attention at family functions when there was company over for Easter or Christmas. Hey, let's get Joey up and do some of his voices, impressions. And, it was Howard Cosell and John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, even Bobby Clark and Bernie Perrant. God bless Bernie.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll do some stuff on him.
Absolutely.
It's a major loss, but he was part of my early repertoire too.
Hey, any particular big name impressionists or comedians that you admired in the 1970s and 80s?
Well, Rich Little was the whole thing. Rich Little was, I guess, the big one. There was also Frank Gorshin, Fred Travellina. Oh, yeah, John Biner. Yeah. So they were the early ones, but Rich Little was the guy. My parents took me to see him on my 16th birthday. It was a very special thing. We went all the way out to the Valley Forge Music Fair. Very
cool.
It was a big deal.
So in the mid and late 80s, he did some work for WCAU-FM before it became Oldies 98. You did some freelance work for the old WYSP and other stations. You were getting some stand-up gigs. And then WIP, is it true that my old pal and yours, Jody Mack, was the guy who helped get you on WIP?
Absolutely. A funny thing, I sent my Jody Mack, there he is. Appreciate it. Jody was the show that I eventually got on. They put me on that show, but I had tried to get on the morning show, Cataldi and Brookshire, and I sent my cassette tape, audition tape out to the program director, Tom Bigby at the time, the morning show producer, who I'm not certain of his name, and then also to Brookshire. I didn't hear from anybody. No, but I did send 3 tapes out to the station. So I guess 6 months go by. I think I followed up with a phone call. I think I called Big B. He said, we don't do comedy here. Comedy is contrived. Our hosts are spontaneous. I remember his response. But about a month after that, I get a call from Jody Mack. Jody McDonald called me directly. I said, holy Lord. He said, hey, I got a hold of your tape, and we like what you got there. Let's give it a try. But the backstory was his producer at the time was Joe Wechter. Mm-hmm. And Joe Wechter saw my audition tape sitting around on a table somewhere in the producer's room, probably like a foot from the trash can. He pops it in. I'm doing Harry and Whitey and Wilson Good and a couple other people. And he liked it. He played it for Jody. Jody liked it. So then we started the regular appearance. Thursdays at 2:00, they would give me about 10 minutes. And that was my first real gig where I had to turn over material on a weekly basis.
The first impressions I remember you doing back then were probably some of the ones you mentioned, some of your signature ones like Bill Campbell, Harry Callis, and Whitey, Merrill Reese, Charles Barkley. Those were good
boy, we did a lot of Bill Campbell. Definitely any knucklehead knows we did Barkley. Another guy we did was Jim Lynam. Jimmy was the coach of the 76ers at the time. I did a lot of Jim Lynam. Sean Bradley, you can't teach tall.
I love that. Hey, I'm sure most people you impersonate are fine with it, but I know you get asked this all the time. But were there some who did not like you doing them? I heard maybe Andy Reid or somebody with the Eagles wasn't crazy about that. And then you got to tell the Dick Vermeil story too.
Yeah, well, Reid and the Eagles for sure. I used to do them all at the banquets right in front of them, the sports writers banquet. Reid didn't care for it. I guess it was. We used to go after his weight a lot, which was quite apparent. I should have gone after his time management and his inability to win the big game, which when he was here was, I always thought Reid got flustered in tough situations, and he was a great preparer and he was a great offensive mind. Well, obviously, and still is. But hey, when he was here, he couldn't take the heat. He didn't like the heat. He liked to control everything. That's why, they used to say his strength was, preparation. He never lost coming out of the bye, and he was a good CEO. But when he was here, the going got tough. He couldn't pull it off. Anyway, Andy Reid, he said, "I'm not going to go after you. I'm going to ignore you." I mean, it was obvious that he didn't really. He kind of laughed about things, but I think why Reid was ticked, and he's got a sense of humor. The guy's actually funny, from what I heard. But nobody likes the narrative being taken away from them, or being out of control of what is happening or how they're being portrayed. And then he coupled up with the ownership management. I don't know who it was, and the Eagles kind of threatened us, NWIP, and we had to tone it down a little bit. I mean, when I was with Angelo, we were going pretty hard.
What about that frickin' Dick Vermeil?
No, well, Dick Vermeil, one of the most beloved coaches in our city. Well, yeah, my Vermeil thing. See, Dick coached before I got on the radio, but then he came back to coaching when he was offered the job, or with the Eagles. At least he says so. And when he got back into the news cycle about his comment, and when he didn't get the job, I felt like I was misled. I was promised this job or offered this job on 3 different occasions by Jeff Lurie. And then he said, "I'm not going to get down on my freaking knees to coach this freaking football team." And as soon as he said that, of course, we had a lot of material that opened the floodgates. And then we started doing fake talk shows. How do, friends? Steve-O here. I'm with the coach, Dick Vermeil, and welcome to frickin' Eagles Talk. Thanks a lot, Steve. And these frickin', whatever. It was just, we pounded it after that.
But then Vermeil actually talked to you about that.
Maybe I met Vermeil at the Maxwell Club banquet, and I was on the dais. So I was in a tuxedo along the line with him. I went over and introduced myself. I said, "Hi, Coach. I'm Joe Conklin. I'm the guy that's been imitating you on the radio." "Oh, I know who you are. You got that frickin' part down pretty good, don't you?" So he's a little, and Dick Vermeil, as emotionally he is, he's pretty tightly wired. I mean, he is wired tight, as we all knew when he coached here in the 70s and early 80s, how he would take everything to heart, and he wouldn't leave he slept on a cot in his office. The guy was obsessed with football and getting better and winning. So, he's not going to take a little, loosening up, so to speak. You don't want to joust with him too much. So it was kind of predictable. And he had his henchman, Bill Berge, the big, tough middle linebacker. "Hey, let me tell you something about Bill Berge and Dick Vermeil." God rest his soul, too. It's been a tough year for early sports legends. But Bergie, he always used to grab. He would shake your hand and try to squeeze it off, and he was tough. He was a big burly dude. He would put me in a headlock like he's joking around, and he would get really tight. he damn near squeezed my head off. You make me sound like a munchkin, and I don't talk like that. Gosh darn it.
Loved Bill Berge. Hey, Joe, exciting times on the Philly sports scene with the Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions, playing well, the Phillies making another postseason run. But the 10-9-8 76ers, if he were being honest, what do you think Joel Embiid would say about his health and the outlook for the upcoming Sixers season?
I just I want to give everybody an update. I'm still limping a little bit. My knee hurts. I'm hoping to get a new meniscus for Christmas. That'll be my third. Next month, I'm going to have dysentery. And then the following month, I'll probably get yellow fever. And then Bell's palsy again, because I play with half a face, one leg, blurred vision. And then by the playoffs, I'll get a little bit of leprosy.
This guy's had every disease known to man. It's crazy. So you can't really knock him for, I guess, trying to work through everything. But what I knock him for is I don't think he took his conditioning seriously as he should have. And, that may have led to an injury or two, but it definitely led to him collapsing in the playoffs just about every year.
Yep. Well, Joe, we need to talk about some of your upcoming shows, events. City Rhythm Orchestra, you got a few more of those on the calendar, November and December. Word on the street is those shows are pretty damn good. In fact, that is what this guy told me 4 weeks ago on this very show.
Look, I worked with him for 30 years. He's the most talented guy I ever worked with. This show he's got out now with the City Rhythm Orchestra, it is like a 2-hour homage to Philadelphia sports. If you get a chance to see it, I said to him, Joe, that is your masterwork. That is it incorporates all of his voices. It incorporates singing. Got his family in it. They're all great singers, and it's all done with great audio visual. But the talent is nothing like it. The most talented guy I ever met. It's amazing.
How about that?
Oh, that was very kind of him. And he's always praised my talent. It was my attitude that was the problem.
Well, can I tell you?
You don't follow orders.
Can I tell you? I actually edited out a part in the middle where he said, "Not always the easiest guy to work with. He doesn't like following the rules." But hey, you admitted it, so okay. All right, so tell me about these shows you got coming up right here.
Yeah, by the good fortune, I met about 5 years ago a guy named Pete Spina. He runs the City Rhythm Orchestra. And I mean, who doesn't want to have a band behind them? I mean, I always kind of wanted to do some music in the show. I come from a family of singers, professionally and non-professionally. Both my parents sang. So, yeah, we just kind of put it to music. I've been doing song parodies on the radio for years. We just put a few of the classics in. We updated a chunk of material. Got my daughter Casey singing with me, my niece Christy, my two brothers, Jim and John. We try to capture the essence of Philly sports and the psyche of the fan, and it's changed. It's changing as we speak because we're actually winning, and it's a different fan now than it was when I was growing up. We forever was dem bums, rip these teams. They're not putting the same level of effort that the fans are, and the owners aren't spending money. Well, all that's kind of changed, but we give you a whole complete picture of the evolution. But yeah, that's what you get. We kind of show you what was happening. We got a 9-piece, 10-piece band. There's some videos playing. There's a lot of pictures, old pictures, new pictures. We celebrate the Super Bowl. It's a lot of fun. It's fun. Ups, downs, tons of laugh. We do a lot of impressions. Mm-hmm. Get some politics in there too.
And you got some of your own shows. You also host shows at Parks Casino. The guy from the league, Steve Ranazizi, this coming Thursday, in fact.
Wow, great job with that pronunciation. Yeah, he's going to be there Thursday, along with Jackie, the joke man, Martling.
Oh, wow.
Just been at it.
I did have to practice Ranazizi a few times, I got to be honest.
Good job. Yeah, that's just about once a month up there, last Thursday of every month. We've been going strong for about 11 or 12 years at Parks Casino.
Awesome. Hey, I didn't get to talk to you about my favorite bar in Kensington, Chip Snappers. Do they have pork on the menu, and can I order pulled pork?
That's usually the open. Thanks a lot, Chet, for asking, because business has been a little slow lately. We're trying to open another location up in Mayfair to get out of the neighborhood a little bit. But our kitchen is back open with a limited menu. We're selling grilled cheese and pork sandwiches for $1. If you want your pork pulled, that's an extra 50 cents. We also have to-go cups, so if you have to go, we got the cup.
Joe, thank you. I knew you would take the cue. I knew it. Be sure to catch one of Joe Conklin's many upcoming shows, headlining gigs in Warminster and Sellersville, the Parks 360 shows that he hosts inside that great casino, and shows with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Phillies World Cafe Live and at Cardinal O'Hara High in Springfield. What's that website, Joe?
JoeConklin.com.
I love it. Hey, by the way, is 1-800-54-AMUSE still a working number? If I call that number, what do I get?
It's still going.
Wow.
I was gonna. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Nobody uses the phone anymore. I don't even know why I still have it. I haven't gotten around to canceling that. It's on a landline. It always has to terminate on some line. I don't know. Do you have a landline still in your home?
Yes, my wife insists that we keep the landline.
It's kind of like we clinging to the familiar there. I don't know. I'm afraid to let go of it.
I knew this would be a blast talking with the great Joe Conklin. Again, find out where you can see him. Go to the website, joeconklin.com. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks a lot, Chet. I appreciate it.
That was funny.
He's a riot. I did the interview, and I'm laughing again listening to him do Dick Vermeil and Charles Barkley and especially Joel Embiid. A meniscus for Christmas.
Well, you know, I have to say, I think I told you this. Just because of timing reasons or whatever, I have never seen Joe Conklin.
That is amazing. Wait till you hear this, Bill. That is not entirely true, because you and I met in October of 2013.
He was at that tailgate
thing. Joe Conklin was at that tailgate. So I don't know if you got a chance to meet him.
He wasn't working, though.
No, he was not working, but he was there. I remember I said hello to him that particular day, and I saw him at several Sixers beach bashes when they used to do those, and the Philly Sports Writers banquets every January or February. He's the entertainment for that. So, yeah, but he's certainly worth seeing. So, yeah, you got to see him in action one of these days.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny that as you led into this whole thing, you said, well, you weren't always feeling like you were comfortable talking to him, whatever. As I recall that tailgate we were at, no one wanted to talk to him. No one other than to say hello. Everybody's like, that's Joe Conklin.
I know. Talk to him. A little intimidating, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And for no reason, because he's a great guy. So really very good stuff.
Yeah, I got to see one of his City Rhythm Orchestra shows. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That one at Cardinal O'Hara looks like it could be a lot of fun. They got a lot of things they're selling or giving away that night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, we hit Schwarbomb number 55 apparently while we were busy. Nice. So it's back to 1-1, and number 55 is in the books. Awesome. Hey, Chet, what would be better than the September of Phillies baseball and Eagles tailgating with the best tailgaters in Philadelphia? Bob Cavanaugh and the gang at Cavs Philly Tailgates.
Yeah, Cavs Philly Tailgates has been cooking up a terrific catering business for some 35 years. You know them best for their tailgate parties. Cavs is a 3-time winner of Philly Tailgates Jack Daniels Great American Tailgate Party Contest and a past winner of the Philly Daily News Tailgate Award. Cavs also does corporate events, any kind of party, you name it. Of course, Cav hosts tailgates before all Eagles games outside the link. You know that. There was one this past Sunday. There will be tailgate parties before the Birds' October games against the Broncos and Giants. I'll be at that Giants game, plus all future home games. Get details on all events at Cavs' website, phillytailgates.com. And if you have questions, you can email them at Cavs Catering at Verizon.net. Cavs, the way to go.
Hey, Chet, do you know, and Robbie Ellis is probably on here, I think. She looked like she was. If she is part of the crew coming to Tampa, and when are they coming? Because it's Wednesday, the game is Sunday. Wonder what the travel arrangements are for the invasion of Tampa from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a great question. We know the Eagles are going down a day earlier than usual. They want to get acclimated, I guess, to the heat. It's going to be close to 90 degrees at game time on Sunday. So
yeah, cool front.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
only 102 today.
Robbie, is that one of your games you're going to this year? Let us know.
There you go. I will be at the game in Tampa this weekend. There, Robbie put that right as we were talking. So
there we go.
Yeah, wonder when they're coming. I'm sure the Eagles will make a good showing, Eagles fans, as they always do. Well, hey, Chet, we're going to come back to the Eagles and the Bucs when we get JP on. So let's move ahead and let's go to our picks.
We're doing picks. Okay.
Yeah, well, let's do picks now. It's a little bit early, but that's okay. Wasn't such a great week for Boop, Bob Patron Jr., you or me this week. Let's see how we did and where are the week 3 standings.
Well, you and I had the same exact picks last week. Boop, meanwhile, had 2 different ones, and he ended up splitting them. So we all ended up with the same exact record. We were all 3-2 last weekend. So the standings are pretty much the same. Boop and I tied for the top spot at 12-3. You just 1 game back at 11-4. Long way to go, Bill. 15 weeks still to decide this thing.
Yeah, there you go. I threw this up there from Robbie since we asked her. Friday to Tuesday. Have fun, Robbie. Might get a little wet. Be prepared, but it will be warm. That's for sure.
Hey, Robbie, some advice. If it's a little hot, beer is a good thing to help cool you down.
No, it's really not. Not to sit.
It is for me. It works for me.
Yeah, not in 100-degree weather. All right. Hey, so we'll just clarify how we're making our picks this year for anybody that's new listening. We picked the winners of 5 games every week with no point spreads. We always pick the NFC East games, always the Sunday night football game, and we will throw in additional games as needed to get to the 5 games. So that's how we do it. That's where the standings came from, which gets us to this week's games, Chet.
All right.
Washington at Atlanta. Washington is -1.5. The Chargers at the Giants. The Chargers are -6.5. Green Bay's at Dallas Sunday night. Green Bay -6.5. The Eagles at Tampa Bay. The Eagles -3.5. And we just had to add Baltimore at Kansas City, even though it's an AFC game. Ravens -2.5 in that game. That's a little surprising.
I got Boop's picks. He emailed them. And as usual, I just print out the sheet. Don't look at it until I read them on here. So I don't know what he's going to say. But what are we starting with? Washington, Atlanta?
Let's go with Washington and Atlanta. The Commanders are -1.5. Got a great game from Marcus Mariota last week, and Atlanta laid an egg.
Now, we should say that we still don't know for sure whether Jaden Daniels will be back or if Terry McLaurin is going to be available to play because he's injured as well. So
it looks like McLaurin is not going to play from what I saw today. He wasn't ruled out, but he's
right. They're going to update things on Friday. On Friday, we'll know for sure. But let's see. Boop says, belated congratulations to Atlanta for being the first NFL team to be shut out this season. Future congrats for also being the second. Boop's not a Falcons fan. His pick is the Commanders, and I went back and forth on this one, especially, given the injury situation with 2 of the star guys from Washington. But I ended up going with the Commanders. I think they will pull it out.
Yeah, I think the Commanders will win this game, but I always say this when we do these each year. These guys have a lot of pride. Atlanta just got spanked last week.
Yeah, they did.
And you think they'll come back and play better, but I'm going to go with Washington. But I wouldn't be surprised how this one turns out. Chargers at the Giants. The Chargers -6.5. The Giants, they've been stinking it up too.
All right. Boop says San Diego. Wait, they're not in San Diego anymore. Come on, Boop. The
San
LA
Diego
Chargers.
Superchargers.
He called them San Diego still. But anyway, The Chargers have complete control of the AFC West already. New York had no control of third downs Sunday night. 1 for 10. His pick is the Chargers. We should note that the Jackson Dart era begins for the Giants this Sunday. He has been named starter for this week. That's not going to do it for me. I'm also picking the LA Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going with the LA San Diego Superchargers, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going all in that the Giants have hit the panic button. They've either panicked the season or they've sold out the season. They're done.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure we will have Keith Pompey on our show next month to talk a little Sixers. And I just have a hunch you're going to give him a little ribbing about the Giants.
Well, yeah. Well, the Eagles play the Giants twice here in the next handful of weeks.
I know, yeah.
So, yeah, the Giants are in big trouble.
Yep.
And one other comment about that. They look bad enough with how Saquon's situation worked out. They might even be looking worse with the way Daniel Jones' situation
I know. How about
is
that?
working out right now in Indianapolis. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, not good for the Giants. Green Bay at Dallas Sunday night. Green Bay -6.5. Dallas just stunk it up the other night.
Boop says Green Bay is not going to be happy letting one slip away to the Browns. Yeah, that was a shocker. No better team to take it out on than the silver-starred Micah-less Cowboys. Yeah, Micah returning to Dallas for this one. His pick is the Packers. My pick is the Packers. And I think they cover that 6.5 pretty easily.
Yeah, and they are CD Lambless too, I believe, aren't they? Dallas.
I didn't know that.
I think.
Wow.
All right, let's jump ahead. Let's go to the AFC game. Baltimore at Kansas City. Ravens are -2.5. I don't know what to think about this.
Boy, the Chiefs underdogs at home for a second straight home game. Don't see that often. Boop says, where the hell is it? Oh, if you had asked me at about 9:30 Sunday night, even I might have taken Baltimore here. But as we had all learned a few hours earlier, the second half can make up for a lot of first half sins. Boop, who kind of likes the Chiefs, is picking the Chiefs. I'm not. I think the Chiefs are going to lose another home game. I am taking Baltimore. So we got one different there, Bill.
Well, we've had Baltimore games all 3 of our weeks. Or 2 of our weeks so far. I lost with them in Buffalo on the points. I lost with them last week because I thought they were going to win. They got smacked in the mouth on the offensive line and the defensive line in a bad way by the Lions. I am going to go Chiefs at home for the win. Kansas City's got to get that thing straightened out here sometime soon. And actually so does Baltimore, but
yeah. I may regret this one because
when the Lions get your brains beat out, that's a bad sign.
I went back and forth on this one, but I settled on Baltimore, so I'll stick with it.
All right. Eagles at Tampa Bay. Eagles -3.5.
Let's see. Boop says Tampa Bay has won 3 games by the same total number of points scored, 6. Sunday by Birds elite sprinter Jordan Davis. All right, Boop. That's a stretch, but okay, you're right. Yeah, his pick is the Eagles. Another one I went back and forth on, Bill. I figured the Eagles would lose one of these week 3 or 4 games. So I thought maybe if they beat the Rams, they would lose to Tampa. But you know what? I think maybe that second half turn has put them in the right direction. I am picking the Eagles to win, and it'll be another 1-score game.
Yeah, I had circled this as a loss at the start of the season.
Yeah, I did
coming
too.
to Tampa. The Eagles don't play well in Tampa. Injuries are everywhere. Tampa, Mike Evans looks like he's going to be out. Chris Godwin, I just listened to the news a little bit ago. Chris Godwin, they're trying to get him back for this week for his first time. He doesn't look like at this point he's going to be able to go. They'll decide that a little bit later. Tristan Wirfs, our all-pro left tackle, is in the same position as Godwin. Maybe he'll be able to go Sunday. There's a good chance that he won't. They have all kinds of problems injury-wise. Their offensive line is all torn up with injuries. They got 4 guys playing out of position on that offensive line. That's not a good place to be if you're going to play against the Eagles front. Baker Mayfield's a baller, though, and
he is.
If we get JP on here shortly. I'm sure he's going to talk about
He's a
that
fan.
because he's a fan. I'm a fan.
Oh yeah,
and I was a fan before this year of Mayfield. So Mayfield can help him out, but I'm going to Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win this. Somewhere along the line, the Eagles are going to lose.
Somewhere,
you know, they're not going to win them all. Like I say, that's why I circled this one as I thought they might go down before the season started. But the way it's playing out, I like the Eagles.
So this week, you and Boop have the exact same picks. I took Baltimore to beat Kansas City. You guys went with the Chiefs. So that's the big game for our standings.
Yep. One other Eagles question, let me ask you, because I don't know the answer to this, is what is the status of Lane Johnson at this moment? Do we know?
He was out there today, apparently, and indications are he will be playing on Sunday. So that is good news. You heard the other injury news, though, about the Eagles. Nolan Smith on IR. Jacorian Bennett on IR, Darius Cooper on IR. So they'll all be out at least 4 games. The thinking is Nolan Smith will be back after that 5th game, which will be after the bye week, which will be the Green Bay game out in Green Bay, November 10th. They have added Marcus Epps, Perry Nickerson, and Cam Latu to the active roster. And Quez Watkins is back on the practice squad. How about that?
All right. And I saw where neither of the linebackers practiced today.
Oh, really?
Right.
Nice.
So one had a helmet, one didn't, but neither one participated in the physical activity. So just got a message from JP. He will see us exactly at 8:00. So
awesome.
He'll be making it. We'll hang in there for him, and we'll talk a lot more Eagles-Bucs here shortly. So Chet, margin of victory pool. How's our standings after 3 weeks? I think Boop had a big week. Give us the standings and tell everybody how this works.
Yeah, you know how it works. It's like a survivor pool, except you don't get eliminated if you make a wrong pick. You pick that one team every week that you think will win. And if you are correct, you not only get a W, you get points for the margin of victory. That's the name of the pool. So let's see how we did last week. I think we all did okay. Yeah, we all picked a winner. Boop took Seattle. They won by 31. So that vaults him into first place by a big 22-point margin over you, Bill. You took the Bills, who won by 10. I picked Kansas City, who won by 13. So I'm in last place in that pool, but we're all undefeated, at least 3-0.
Yeah, nice pick by Boop to take Seattle, huh?
Yeah.
They were scoring pretty much about any time they wanted against the Saints.
Saints really stink, Bill.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
All right, so this week, let's see what Boop has. Boop says his week 4 pick is the Detroit Lions over the Browns. Not a bad pick. I am going with the Buffalo Bills over those god-awful New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I was looking at that, who are the Saints playing? Let's go with whoever the Saints are playing, except I had already used Buffalo.
Right.
So I couldn't use them. So I am going with the Los Angeles San Diego Superchargers against the lousy New York Football Giants.
Okay. Probably a good pick. Unless Jackson Dart surprises us in his debut.
Well, he will. He'll throw 3 or 4 interceptions, and that's why I think we'll see a lot of points for Justin Herbert and the boys.
How about we talk a little Phillies, Bill?
Well, Chet, we've been getting a couple updates. We got 3 home run balls now. We got Sosa, Stott, and Schwarbaum.
All
hit home runs. All solo shots. 5 games left as of last night with that debacle giveaway loss to the Marlins after a great effort by Christopher Sanchez. Unless something drastic happens, they'll be in the 2nd seed with the bye. The Brewers lost last night. The Dodgers lost last night. Plenty of time to figure out what to do with this rotation. I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, from what we heard from Rob Thompson, I think he's going to have Sanchez pitch a little bit on Sunday in the season finale because they don't play that opener of the NLDS until the following Saturday, October 4th. So plenty of time to set things up how you want. As we discussed last week, it's probably going to be 3 lefties, I would think, in the rotation for the NLDS. Sanchez, Suarez, and Luzardo. That's my thinking anyway. The big concern from, well, go ahead. What do you think about that?
Well, I was going to go back to your interview with Kevin Stocker, which kind of, to me, threw a little monkey wrench into the thinking. I'm with you. You throw your three best up there.
Yeah.
Stocker, Kevin said, well, maybe you just wait and see how the matchups are, this and that. Don't overthink it. Don't put Aaron Nola out there. Don't put Taijuan Walker out there. Is Walker Buehler your guy?
Yeah.
He hasn't pitched bad.
No, and he'll get a third
but he hasn't pitched much.
Right.
And then it could go more than 3 games. And then what are you going to do if you use your 3 lefties? You're going to see a right-hander somewhere in there. Who's it going to be?
Boy, it could be Nola. It could be Walker Buehler. It's not going to be Taijuan Walker. So it's going to be either Aaron Nola or Walker Buehler.
How you sleeping with that thought?
Hey, I'll tell you what else is keeping me up is the bullpen lately. Even Joan Duran, he's given up a couple of homers.
He ain't Brad Leach.
No, he's not. He's blown a couple of saves. And Orion Kerkering has given up runs, I think, his last 4 or 5 outings. So
8 of the last 14 games he's pitched in, he's given up runs.
Yeah. I have no confidence in him at all right now. David Robertson is showing his age all of a sudden. He's given up runs every time out there lately. Matt Strahm, they've only used, I think, once over the past week. So I guess they're just resting him.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he's nicked up a little bit, got something going on that they have not used him.
I'm concerned, Bill.
Yeah, I am definitely concerned about Kerkering. I've never been a huge fan since they threw him in a couple of years ago in a situation that he had no business being in. He didn't pitch well. He's not been great to me, and they keep giving him the ball, and I know they're trying to get him straightened out. He's got great stuff, but he doesn't get it done.
Yeah, so that's a definite concern, and I think they got to use these final 5 games of the season to get these guys straightened out and know exactly, what their roles are going to be, how they're going to be used. Another thing to keep an eye on is Trey Turner. I believe they're expecting him to be back this weekend to get a few, at-bats, and then he'll work on things during the week off and hopefully be as close as possible to 100% next Saturday, the 4th.
Yeah, because I think you have to be concerned still about how this team hits against good pitching.
Yeah.
They went to Arizona. They didn't hit good out there. They got a lot of hits in the one game, I think 11, but they leave too many guys on base and they hit into too many double plays. The hitting to me is still a bit inconsistent. It still depends on the long ball. And as we've seen over the last few years, that long ball can get you beat when you come up against good pitching. And they're going to see nothing but good pitching once they get to the playoffs.
So the Dodgers are going to be the 3rd seed, and they will play whoever the 6th seed is, which could be the Mets. They're clinging to a 1-game lead right now. But if they fall back, the Diamondbacks and Reds both have the tiebreaker advantage over the Mets. So if one of those teams were to get in and play the Dodgers, who would you like to see as a potential, upset winner who would then go on to play the Phillies?
Who do I want to see them play, or who do I don't want the Phillies to play?
Either way, you take it, Bill. You're still scared of the Mets? Because I'm a little concerned still about the Mets.
No, I don't care about the Mets.
All right.
I think I would like to see, of all those teams given, I think I'd like to see them play the Reds.
I would too.
I think that was the team that I think they would match up pretty well against. They're good. They're not great. They don't have lights out pitching. They're decent. I'd like to see them play the Reds, I think.
That would be my choice. Mets would be 2nd. Diamondbacks 3rd. I just have a bad feeling about a Diamondbacks-Phillies series, maybe because of the way it worked out 2 years ago.
Right. So, we have another minute. Schwarber hit number 56 earlier today.
Was it 55 or 56?
It was 50. Hang on. Maybe I'm telling you wrong, right?
Yeah, I lost track.
55. He hit 55. Okay. So he has 5 more to hit and 4 games after tonight to do it. Is he going to hit 60 home runs?
And the other thing is Ryan Howard's record 58, so he can tie or break
but we want to get that 60.
I don't think he's going to hit 60. I think he may tie Ryan Howard at 58 if he has a hot weekend. That would be the best. He's not going to have a 4 home run game again.
No. But he is warming up a little bit. He's banging a few of them out, so that's good.
And how about Joe Howe's favorite player, Alec Boehm, coming back off the injured list, going 8 for 13, didn't get another hit last night.
Yeah, played good defense as well. And he was 4 for 4 the other night in a loss. Yeah. Every time he turned around, he was standing on second base. So good for Boehmer. We need it back. Sosa's back now. There are going to be a few more roster spots. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Bader once Turner comes back. Does Turner go back to the leadoff spot? Maybe you put Bader right behind Turner in the 1-2 spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
With Harper, Schwarber right behind it. Also, JT got hit in the hand last night in the finger. JT got hit in the finger last night, and he is not playing tonight. So we'll see how that plays out.
Rob Thompson said he should be fine over the next couple of days. Bryce Harper out of the lineup, sick, but he'll be healthy, of course, by the weekend. So not worried about that. I'm just worried about the bullpen and, like you said, the ability to hit quality starting pitching.
That's right. All right. We're right about 8 o'clock. We should have JP here just shortly. Here's a comment. Comes from Doughboy. Doughboy is not happy with Dallas Goedert. Oh, there you go. There's JP coming on.
Don't ever criticize Howie. Come on. Howie knows what he's doing. Let's talk a little football, Bill.
Let's do it.
We got JP.
There he is.
What's up, fellas?
Welcome, JP Peterson, the longtime guru of Tampa sports.
What's up, fellas? What are we doing?
Great to see you, JT. Hey, we're going to talk a little football.
What's that?
We are going to talk football with you. That's, what we're talking about right now. And we love having first timers. So first of all, welcome. I was thinking both the Eagles and the Buccaneers are 3-0, but it certainly hasn't been easy for either team. 1-score games every week for these guys. The Bucs winning by a total of 6 points those 3 games. That would be a lot of stress for Bucs fans, I'm thinking.
Yeah, you kidding me? We wouldn't have it any other way. Nothing but drama, right? We don't need any boring game. This game against the Jets was 23-6, a few minutes left, and the officials said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and give them a touchdown that clearly is not a touchdown, and we'll extend the game a little bit. Oh, you idiots that bet the under. You're screwed. You're screwed. So it's going over. And so then we end up with a block kick, and you guys would know what the block kicks are all about this week.
Oh, yeah.
But we end up actually winning the game. You guys absolutely did too on that block kick. So what a wild weekend in the NFL. And I think, look, the Bucs, we were talking about this today. The teams they beat are combined 1-8, and they have, as you mentioned, a 6-point differential. So you can look at this in a lot of different ways. But this is not the Bucs team that we had hoped to have for the actual regular season. No Tristan Wirfs, no Godwin. The entire offensive line shuffled last week. Nobody was in their regular position. It's almost impossible to win games in the NFL under those situations. So if you can find a way to go 3-0 with this many injuries, especially along the offensive line, you're doing something in the NFL. So, and especially with a first-year play caller, I asked Todd Bowles about that. I'm like, how about Josh Grizzard and what he's been able to do coaching around all these injuries, which is really difficult to do. And they've had to revamp their entire run offense. And they've been able to do it and do it enough to win. So I kind of look at it differently. It's a 3-0 by close margins for the Buccaneers. But with the situation that they've been handed 2 tough road games to start the season, offensive lines on the road that are completely new, a new center, very difficult to win. So, kudos to the Buccaneers. Kudos to Baker Mayfield, who's just the absolute magic man. And the Bucs sit 3-0, and it's a pretty cool. This is the only game this week with 2 undefeated teams. So let's go.
Well, JP, you have been hearing it all off season and the beginning of this season, just as Philly is with Jalen Hurts. Total lack of respect for two quarterbacks that are just ballers.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I mean, how can you not put Jalen Hurts in the top tier? I mean, I won't even talk about Baker, but how is he not in the top tier? Because, I mean, let me see these guys. Lamar Jackson, has he won a Super Bowl? Nah. Joe Burrow? Nah. Josh Allen? Nah. Now, I'm not saying that Hurts is better than Josh Allen, all right?
Right.
But you got to look at a player, the way they play the game in Philly, that offense is just tailor-made for him, and that's smart. And they built that offense around him and his unique abilities. And by the way, he's become one hell of a thrower of the football. I don't see how you don't put Jalen Hurts in the top tier of quarterbacks. Now, Baker Mayfield, listen, Baker is completely underrated just in terms of his athletic ability. I mean, he is. We were talking to Bucky Irving today, and I'm like, Bucky, did you see that move that Baker put on that guy? And he's like, man, I'd be proud of that one. People underrate his elusiveness because he's a small white guy, right? But he's got some shake. Shake. It's why you don't say shake and bake for nothing. He's got some shake to him. And I think, honestly, because I see this all the time, like defenders will come up on him just like, I'm gonna crush Baker Mayfield. And I think if you're coming to tackle Lamar Jackson, you break down, you got to go either way, right? You're you got to be under control. You just can't fire. Well, against Baker, they think, oh, I don't have to worry about breaking down or having to go right or left. I'm just going to crush him. And he's got that little shake to him, and he leaves you in the dust. We've seen it too many times. So he's a very underrated runner. His arm, Baker's arm is as good as any in the NFL. He can, with velocity, and they actually measured this at the combine. They measure with miles per hour, and Baker's always in the 99th percentile. He has a freaking cannon. He has great accuracy, and it's as far as this year goes, and the last few years, is anybody better in the clutch than Baker Mayfield in the last 2 minutes? I mean, he's the first quarterback in the history of the league to be down. To have a go-ahead score in the final minute of the game in the first 3 weeks. No one's ever done that. Have 3 comebacks in the final minute in the first 3 weeks. So, I mean, listen, I don't know how many we got in the top tier, but I got to put both these guys in the top tier. And they are disrespected. There's no question about it.
Yeah, he has been great for sure. Hey, Bill and I were talking about the fact that Tampa Bay is a bit banged up, a lot of injuries, especially on the offensive line and at wide receiver too. So what is the status of the O-line guys and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
All right. Well, I was there at the facility today, so I can give you the latest and greatest right from the mouth of Todd Bowles and Baker, because I asked them both about Chris Godwin, and both of them said Godwin is good to go. I mean, he's making his cuts. He's running his routes. He looks their words, he looks great. Now, is he going to have swelling after today's practice? Who knows? But at this point, it looks like Godwin's ready to go. Mike Evans is out probably for 2 or 3 weeks with the hamstring, the chronic hamstring issues he's had. So he's not going to play. Now, Tristan Wirfs, it sounded like they're pretty confident that he's going to play. I'd still say he's kind of questionable. Baker I don't know if he let this slip or he was talking about the future, but he said it'll be nice to get Graham Barton back to center and Bredesen to guard and Wirfs to tackle that left side to be all intact. Now, I don't know if he was speaking about the future or this week, but I think he might have been talking about this week. So the left side might be intact in the center, and then they'll have Charlie Heck at right tackle, and then either Haggard at right guard. So there'll be 2 new guys, backups on the right side. But going up against Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, you need your absolute best, and we'll see. I think that's going to be a huge part of the game right there. Can the Bucs run the football with a couple backup offensive linemen against that front? That's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, well. We pick every week. We pick games, and we already did this while we were waiting on you. We both had circled Tampa Bay to win this game back before the season started. The Eagles don't play well in Tampa. They especially don't play well in September when it's 100 degrees in Tampa. We're hoping the injuries offset that just a little bit. But how do you see this game? Do you feel like, as you threw out the record that the Bucs have against their opponents so far, how do you like this game?
I think if the Bucs were healthy, I would take the Bucs, but I think there's just too many injuries. The Buccaneers offense really goes through Mike Evans. It starts with him, and because they have to double him, which leaves the other guys open, sets up the passing game, which sets up the running game. So it kind of starts and ends with Mike as that difference maker. He's hard to cover. He's very difficult, either in the intermediate or even the deep routes. At any level, he's really difficult. So without him, if Godwin comes back, then they got Godwin, Shepard, and Ibuka, which is a nice trio, really nice trio. So they'll have weapons. And if Wirfs is back, they won't need the tight end to chip as much as he has been chipping. So it opens up a few more things for him offensively. But I just think that Philly front is just too much because what they're going to do is they're going to overload the right side of the Buccaneers right side with the two backup guys, with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and their edge rushers coming off the edge. They're going to overload that, and I think it's going to be tough for Baker to throw the football. It's going to be tough for them to run the football. So I just think Philly may have the edge in this one, especially the way they've been scoring points. And last year, no A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So this year they'll have both of those, even though the Bucs defensive backs, I think, are playing great football. I think it'll be close, but if I had to bet this game, and I'm not going to bet this game because of all the injuries, I would favor the Eagles. But I understand Lane Johnson has a neck injury, right?
Yeah, but I think he's good to go.
Is he going to be? Yeah, okay. If he plays, then yeah, definitely, I would favor the Eagles in this one.
Hey, JP, 4 straight NFC South Division championships for the Bucs. The last 3 of those under Todd Bowles, who played college ball at Temple and was on the Eagles coaching staff for a bit. I got to think he's pretty well thought of down there in Tampa.
Kind of.
Kind of.
on the weeks they win.
On the weeks they win. Listen, it's interesting. I'd say the fan base is kind of split on Todd Bowles, and we're warming up to him because. Yeah, the NFC championships are good, but we have to keep that in perspective. He's 20 coming into the year. I believe he was 2 or 3 games over 500 as a coach. Last year losing in the first round of the playoffs was unacceptable, and most people would say they underachieved. And he got out coached in that game. They got out managed in that game. Terrible clock management by the Buccaneers. They allowed the Commanders to bleed the last 4.5 minutes of the game and kick a field goal to win. They allowed them to control the ball the entire game. And that's been kind of the beef with Todd is he doesn't manage games well. He was 2-6 last year in 7-point or below games. And if you're going to be an elite team, you got to be better in closer games. And that's always kind of been an issue for him in his head coaching career. So, we love Todd. He gets the best out of his players. They love playing for him. But he's always kind of, and he kind of did this against the Jets with the big lead, kind of pulled back, stopped blitzing, went into that soft cover 2, cover 3, and the Jets came back. And it's kind of that's the way he manages games sometimes, and it can get you in trouble. So we love him as a human. We love him. He's the greatest guy ever, milk and cookies, the whole 9. And I love the fact that he's really come out of his shell a little bit this year to the public. He's much more, even last year and then definitely this year, much more comfortable with himself in public. We're seeing a much more lighter side of him, and that's endearing him to the fans. And the other part of it is, he hired a game manager this year. They went out, and whether he decided to or the organization, they have a game manager, and he's done some things this year that I don't think he would ever do. And I don't know if that's him making the calls or the game manager. I mean, the Bucs let the Texans score with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Okay, and all their timeouts. I mean, that is a bold move to allow.
They didn't admit that, though, did they? They still haven't admitted that.
They tacitly admitted it. Like I asked Bowles about it, and he said basically, what does it matter? We won the game, and I said, you're not going to tell us, are you? He said, not at all. And then I asked Antoine Winfield Jr. I said, did you really go after Chubb there? And he's like, great play, great run. I'm like, no, seriously. He's like, and he's laughing the whole time. Great play, great run.
But that's why they won the game. that decision is why they won the game.
Because you give Baker Mayfield last at-bats, he's going to beat you. He's going to beat you. So they're managing games differently now. And now what? Look, they're 3-0 in 7-point games. Last year they were 2-6. That's the difference. So do we love Todd Bowles? We love him when he's winning, and we like the new Todd Bowles. That's good. The Riverboat Gambler, Todd Bowles.
Well, and to tag on to that, a lot of people in Philadelphia don't love Nick Sirianni. All he did was win a Super Bowl, and he's undefeated this year. They still don't like him.
You know, fans are fickle. And you know, so are us critics, right? You know, we want perfection. And we want, I think the Bucs have underachieved at times under Todd Bowles, but they've been consistently good, and that's hard to do in the NFL. Really hard to do. I've never been more impressed with his coaching than this year. I mean, this year, I think this has been his best coaching job with the injuries, the late game management. I think he's doing a great job. So maybe this is the year. For an older coach to kind of be agreeable to things like this, I think it speaks volumes for his lack of ego, and it's not about him. It's never about him. It's all about the team. So yeah, nobody's rooting for him more than me. I love the guy, but I've been very critical of him on my shows, and I think rightfully so, but we all want to see him succeed.
Hey, JP, I saw some pics of you on social media in FSU T-shirts. I know you're an alum. The Seminoles are 3-0. They're ranked number 8 currently. They got Virginia this week, then a big game against Miami. Are they legit contenders?
I'd like to say yes. I went to the Alabama game, and we whooped their ass. Physically, I mean, it was dramatic. But, and then scored 77, 66, and we drop in the polls. But people hate us. They just hate us. They hate us because they hate us. So listen, the answer is I don't know yet, because after 2-10, you leaves a lot of scars from last year. I mean, that was ugly. So you don't want to jump out there and say, we're back. But it sure looks like it. I mean, Gus Malzahn has this team humming. They had 8 rushing touchdowns last week, which equaled their entire total for last year. I mean, this is dramatic. So if Castellanos is healthy, and I think he is this week, they got Virginia on Friday night. Virginia's the 4th highest scoring team. We're number 1 in the nation. So take the over on Friday night, and we'll see. And then we got Miami the next week. Yeah. I'll be there for that. So I'd like to say yes. I mean, I think they're a really good football team. I think they're right now, I'd say their floor is probably 8 wins, and the ceiling, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at this point, who can't they beat? They beat Alabama, who's supposed to be the best in the SEC, and Alabama looks like a good football team. So I'd like to give you a great answer. I think they're really good. I just don't know how good.
JP, a lot of our viewers, listeners, I'm shifting gears on you here, come to Florida, come to the Clearwater area to see the Phillies during spring training and so forth. What's it look like for the Tampa Bay Rays and their stadium? There's talk of moving, new ownership, all kinds of stuff. What's the latest?
Well, we broke the story on the new ownership group back in February, and I've been privy to a lot of information with this new ownership group. And I can tell you, they were handpicked by Major League Baseball because they can get a stadium done in Tampa. And Major League Baseball does not want another stadium in St. Petersburg on the edge of the market. It just doesn't work. It's a location nightmare. St. Pete's a beautiful downtown. It's an awesome place. It's got great beaches, amazing downtown. Clearwater, fantastic. Not a place for a baseball stadium for 81 games a year. It's just not. It doesn't work. So it's going to be in Tampa, and I believe that they have the money, the connections. The new owner is great personal friends with Ron DeSantis, our governor. He is pledged to help out in terms of infrastructure money. They've got great connections with the county commission and city commission. So I think they're going to get this done in Tampa. The problem has always been our old owner, Stu Sternberg. It's not with Hillsborough. It's not with St. Pete. It's not that we don't have the money. It's not that we can't do it. We had an owner that didn't want to pay anything for a stadium, and that's not going to work in this day and age. Nobody's going to write you a blank check. Actually, St. Pete tried to write him a blank check, and he still couldn't get the job done. So that's been the problem. He's gone. Major League Baseball took him out because they realized that he's been doing them dirty for years. So he's out. The new group coming in is made up of all-stars. from the Tampa Bay area. They love the community. They know the community. The managing partner, Zalupski, has a lot of connections. He lives in Jacksonville, but he has a lot of connections in the Tampa Bay area. Fred Ridley is one of the owners, the chairman of the Augusta National, of the Masters. He's lived here all his life. He's a big part of it. Dan Doyle, who owns Dex Imaging here locally, another big local company. So these people love Tampa Bay. They have the money to build the stadium. They have the money to get the payroll up to the average. So the bottom line is, we've done everything wrong here in terms of baseball in St. Petersburg, in the Tampa Bay area. We've had two horrible owners. We've had a terrible, outdated, awful stadium in a terrible location. And that's the reason that we haven't succeeded in attendance. The team has been great on the field, third most victories since 2008 behind the Dodgers and Yankees, but no championships, and an owner that just, did not love the community, screwed everybody over, screwed his partners over, screwed Tampa Bay, threw Tampa over. I mean, dude's been a nightmare away from the field. So it's a bright day for Tampa Bay in terms of this new ownership group and the great things coming ahead. You'll see probably a stadium open in Tampa in 2029, maybe more likely 2030, and probably in the downtown area.
Hey, JP, for some unknown reason, my brother-in-law, who's in Eastern Pennsylvania, is a Tampa Bay Bucs fan. So he may be interested. He may be interested in your show. Before we wrap up, tell folks about your show, where they can find it.
Yeah, so we do a live streaming show every day from 10 to 12. It's like a 2-hour sports talk show you'd hear on the radio, just a lot less commercials. And we're hyper Tampa Bay. So if you love Tampa Bay sports, this is the only 2-hour live stream sportscast in the marketplace. So check it out. I've been doing sports here locally for almost 30 years. We bring on the best guests. Today we had Rob Higgins, the new CEO of Athletics at USF. Ken Hagan, the Hillsborough County Commissioner, that's putting the whole Rays deal together, and Eric Erlinson, who's been covering the Lightning for 30 years. So we do it every day, 10 to 12. You can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, on X. Just Google the JP Peterson Show. FanStream Sports Tampa Bay is the name of our company. And just like you guys do a great job in podcasting, that's where everything's going, right?
Yeah.
On-demand stuff. So you can catch us live, or you can catch us on the podcast on Apple and Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Fantastic. Well, JP, certainly appreciate you joining us. We love having first-time guests, especially somebody right in my neighborhood. I told you.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan.
Sorry, guys. I had to switch some things around, but a lot of big stuff come up today. A lot of stuff going on here locally, so I apologize. Anytime you need me, I'll come back. If the Bucs win, I'll come back on next week.
and bring Todd Bowles, right?
Exactly. Yes.
There you go. Thanks, JP.
JP, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Guys, it was awesome. Anytime.
All right.
All right, Chet. Good stuff, huh?
That was fun.
Yes, it was. Hey, we had a couple great guests tonight at JP Peterson and Joe Conklin. Who's coming to Philly Pressbox Radio next week?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Bill. And let's see, do I have a promo picture of our guest next week? By golly, I do. You know this guy, Bill, because he's been on our show pretty much every year over the last 7 or 8 years, I think. He brings energy. He brings passion. He brings knowledge about Philly sports. I'm talking about WIP morning show participant James Seltzer. Always good to talk Seltzer. Yeah, we had him on just about 1 year ago, the first week of October, and he'll be back with us next week to talk all things Phillies, Eagles, and whatever the hell else we get to with James.
We better get our energy ready.
Yeah, plus I will have some info about this weekend's Oktoberfest events that I went to, and next weekend's Oktoberfest at the Irish Rover Station House. I'm going to see if I can get Chris Gaskill to join us on the show next week also.
Oh, there you go. And we'll have a little Penn State, Oregon whiteout to talk about too. Well,
that was the other thing. What's your thinking about Penn State, Oregon? Penn State 3.5-point favorites this weekend.
I'm going all in with Penn State on this. This is, I was thinking about this. I didn't say this to anybody, but I've been thinking about it. This might be the biggest game of the James Franklin era. There's been some big ones.
And if they win it, then the one against Ohio State a month later will be the biggest.
Right. But you got to win this big one
before
you can worry about the next one, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't win this, everybody thinks this is the best team in the country, that they've got the most talent that they've ever had, that this is the best team in the country. They haven't played anybody yet. You don't win this, the season's a disappointment no matter what happens the rest of the way, even if you beat Ohio.
Yeah, and it's a 7:30 game this Saturday night. As you said, it's a whiteout. Penn State favored by 3.5. The over-under 53.5. Boy, I don't know. I'm not feeling it yet, Bill. I have to. I'm like the Mississippi guy. Show me.
Yeah,
or is that Missouri? I don't know.
That's Missouri, but
Missouri.
But we know what you mean.
I know it's one of those.
I mean, they haven't played anybody to show that they're that yet. So they're going to have to come out and play good ball. The whiteout will be insane. It'll be great for them. That will help them out. They claim, even Urban Meyer claims that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown for the home team playing at the whiteout. So
yeah,
we'll see. Hey, Phillies are up 6-1, and Mundo Sosa with a pair of dingers, Chad.
How about that?
And a
Mundo
solo shot. Yeah, how about that?
Great to have him back.
All right. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Well, you know, this is totally unrelated to sports, but every morning I post a song, and all this month it is one-hit wonders, because I declared it National One-Hit Wonders Month. That's because tomorrow...
You declared it.
I declared it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because,
all right.
Seriously, because September 25th is officially National One-Hit Wonders Day. So since I do the daily song, I decided I'm going to make it National One-Hit Wonders Month. So I did it, I think, last year, and I'll do it again this year, and I'll do it again next year probably. And I just love the one-hit wonders. And tomorrow, one of my favorites of all time, you'll have to check it out on Facebook.
All right. Good job. Appreciate everybody hanging in there. We went a little long tonight, but hopefully it was worth it. I think we had a lot of good stuff tonight.
And for those of you who switched over to YouTube, if you're on there right now, and if you have not yet hit the like button or the subscribe button, do it now, please. We appreciate it.
Hit it. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Thank tonight's special guests, PJ Peterson and Joe Conklin, our sponsors, the Irish Rover Station House, Cavs Philly Tailgates, and PPCC 118 Raz Room. For Jim Chet Chesko, this is Bill Furman. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll join Philly Press Box Radio next Wednesday. It's going to be October already, Chet. Yeah. October 1st at 7 p.m. You can see us live on Facebook, on our Philly Press Box Radio YouTube channel, and on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel. And listen on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadios, and all the others. High hopes, Philadelphia sports fans. Let's go Phillies, go Birds, and rest easy, Bernie Perron.
Let's do the song. Come on.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory.